I don't know. My internet sucks. Hold on. Hold on. I'm also uploading on YouTube. Shit, Facebook. How's it going, guys? What's up, Facebook? I'm also on YouTube as well. I really hope that it's streaming and it's streaming all right. If not, sorry. I still suck at streaming, so you're not missing out on much. This is probably gonna fucking blow. Watch Netflix. Watch porn instead. They're probably better uses of your time. But tonight, guys, we're going to actually do something really important because I'm going to be rebuttaling to one of the great internet intellectuals of our time, one of the great thinkers, the deepest political commentators on the internet right now. His name's Graham Allen, and I've talked about Graham Allen before. Some of you know who he is. You've liked his page. And if you're not familiar with who he is, he's a veteran. He loves freedom. He loves America, and he fucking roasts the libs. Those fucking tofu eating butt fucking college boys ain't got nothing on this motherfucker because he understands what all the problems are and what the fucking solutions are. And he loves God and he loves his country. And yeah, he's just got a lot of really deep and insightful thoughts. Just fucking kidding, obviously. And yeah, so he has a video called Where Are the Real Americans? And I actually named my video the exact same thing. So maybe a Graham Allen fan will watch it on accident, and then they'll hear all like the logic and the facts and the intelligence, and their face will melt like all the people at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. One can only hope. One can only hope. But it's not plagiarism because mine is Where Are All the Real Americans, with just normal font, and his is Where Are All the Real Americans capitalized. So it's Where Are All the Real Americans? And whenever someone entitles a video in all caps, it's just going to be mind blowing, thought provoking content and not stupid bullshit. All right. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. We're going to find out where all the fucking real Americans are. Oh, and before I actually get into the video, I find this fucking hilarious. So if you go to his Facebook wall, it says, let's go back to 9/12, which is some Glenn Beck horseshit where he thinks that we were all coming together on 9/12 and we were all Americans. And it's like, yeah. Let's go back to that unless you're a fake American. And also, it's like, let's go back to 9/12, the day after the most scariest and fearful terrorist attack this country's ever known, and have that level of hysteria. And that's going to make things better now if we go back to that hysteria and that fear. It's like, okay, it's obvious bullshit. But anyway, let's dive deep. By the way, I paused the Graham Allen video, and every time I pause a Graham Allen video and I look into his eyes and I look at his face, I have to question if I'm actually making fun of a mentally retarded person. So if Graham Allen does have like an intellectual limitation or learning disability of some kind, and maybe has a mild form of Down syndrome, please reach out and let me know, because I don't want to actually victimize any handicapped people. And if he is, I do apologize to that community because he's a member of your community, and that's actually fucking shameful. But anyway, all right, let's dive into it, guys. Where are the real Americans? Let's find out. All right, so first of all, he's showing the protesters in Portland, and he put peaceful in quotes, and I think it's probably pretty obvious where this video is going, and it points out a really interesting paradox when it comes to the issue of police brutality and inequity in the criminal justice system when it's talked about in the media, because anybody who kind of defends the law enforcement and thinks that Black Lives Matter is misguided will easily use like the bad apples analogy. It's like a few bad apples doesn't spoil the bunch, and that there's um, a kernel of of truth and part of what that's getting at in terms of organizations being so vast that not every member of that organization is bad, obviously. And also, people who put their lives on the line and risk their personal safety for public safety are obviously, on the whole, probably not bad people. You shouldn't jump to any conclusions. But on the other hand, whenever they talk about the protesters and the other side of it, it's always shit like I'm about to see now. It's always, oh, they're gonna fucking destroy a car or do something horrible, and the distinction between uh, defending the police and defending the protesters, and the flaw of the bad apple analogy when it comes to defending law enforcement is the fact that the problems that we face with law enforcement today is that not every apple is bad, but the bad apples don't get thrown out. It's a fact that police officers have qualified immunity. It's a fact that police officers have a very powerful union that prevents a lot of them from facing punishment that they should face. So again, it's not saying that all cops are bad. Nobody's fucking saying that. It's that bad apples get to stay with the bunch. The farmer's not throwing any of the bad apples out. All right, let's continue with Graham Allen. Okay, so the clip he's showing right now is some protesters violently attacking a woman. And this just strikes me as I don't know how fringe it is. Again, I don't know the answers on what to do when protests escalate to this level. I don't know the answers on when it's appropriate to declare martial law. But that's why I think people like Graham Allen are really harmful to the narrative, and also harmful to the media, because he's not allowing for any kind of complexity. If I dig far enough, which I won't because I can't fucking stand that guy. Oh my god! Okay, I have the video paused right now, and I'm just looking at his face, and it's like, how the fuck does this guy have fans? It's like this video that I'm watching has more than 74,000 reactions, and the video I have on YouTube, let's see if it has one viewer. Nope, not one at all. So, god damn it. Anyway, what I was saying though is that if I really dig into Graham Allen's videos, right, I'm sure that he'll have a video somewhere basically alluding to the fact that the media is unfair to the police. The media just shows videos of cases with people like George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery, even though that didn't really involve police officers or something like that, and they spin a narrative that's harmful to law enforcement, and that's not true. But how is this not exactly what he's doing with the protesters? It's the exact same difference. There's literally no difference whatsoever. And again, he never asks the question that needs to be asked, or that begs to be asked. Why are they out there in the first place? And why is it that people should respect order and respect the rule of law when those who enforce the rule of law aren't held to the same standards as the rest of us? And that question is more important than some horrible instance of the cops attacking a woman. It's like, okay, let's say that this charges get filed. One person's charges, right? There's not going to be any problem with those people who hurt this woman and assault this woman getting into trouble. Virtually none, as there shouldn't be. They deserve to get punished for what they're doing. I agree. But if it was a cop that had that, or if that person had a police uniform on that was beating the shit out of a woman, it's like they're literally not going to be facing any kind of. Well, I shouldn't say that, but there's too many hurdles for them to actually face real punishment. And I'm getting a little bit repetitive, but let's see, I'm rebutting Graham Chapman or whatever, Graham Allen, whatever the fuck his name is. Anyway, I'm just gonna actually skip ahead in the video. We're gonna watch about 30 more seconds of it. They say Black Lives Matter. They say he deserves it. That he's a racist. Okay, that's what I'm hearing so far. I know what the fuck he's talking. Okay, wait. Okay, so first of all, okay, I'm gonna fucking love this. He has a plea to America. He's about to tell us, but he just used the term terrorist, right? And I think that there's a really interesting aspect to the definition of terrorist, which is it's always people acting against the state. That's what a terrorist is. Okay, but what happens when a member of the state, like a police officer, or yeah, like an officer of the state, enacts the same kind of violence that a terrorist does? What happens when not a terrorist commits violence against the state or against the people, but the state commits acts of terror? And that's a very interesting distinction. There's plenty of laws against terrorism. If you're even suspected of terrorism, they can fucking bug your phones and like take all your information, and throw you into a fucking prison camp, gulag, whatever the fuck, black site. But and by the way, that might be a slight exaggeration. But again, what if you're a state official that terrorizes? Huh? Where's your accountability? So anyway, I want to hear his plea for America. Where are you? Where are the men and women who are warriors? Where are the good people? Well, we expect this kind of carnage. Yeah, okay. And you know what? It's like you always have to fucking acknowledge why they're doing what they're doing. So I'll say something because I don't want to be like one sided on this. Or if you're someone who supports like law enforcement or has questions about the protests, I'm not saying you're all like Graham Allen, right? I'm only fucking calling out Graham Allen because he has a platform and he deserves to be called out. But like him saying, "We're all this, we're all that," okay, again, they are protesting because the infrastructure responsible for keeping the peace and keeping law and order has been marginalizing people of color for a long time. And you know what? Again, like you might not agree with that. You might think it's more complex than that, but Graham Allen isn't even acknowledging that complexity. And again, somebody with that kind of fucking platform has the obligation to do that. You have the obligation to see that it's bullshit. And again, if you disagree with me or you love Graham Allen or you love police, it's like I'm not somebody that lives in a monolith. I'm not someone that probably 100% disagrees with you. I'm not somebody that can't understand your passion for this, even if you disagree with me. I'm not trying to alienate you, but you have to realize that this only tells one side of the story and that there's no thought behind this. Like you can have passion and you can have zeal and like tenacity, but that doesn't mean that there's substance. And that's the problem with Graham Allen. I'll watch a little bit. I want to finish it. I want to hear him finish his plea for America. We are allowing. Where are the patriots that are going to stand up and stop this? So, like, what is he advocating? Like, is he advocating that citizens should take arms against the protesters? Is that what he's saying? And I'm trying to like really give him the benefit of the doubt here. Like maybe there's going to be situations where it's appropriate to perform a citizen's arrest, and in this instance, where you see a bunch of people beating the shit out of a woman, it's like okay, I can kind of see that logic, but I just think like what is he saying? Like real patriots. So is he arguing for a group of citizens again to have that kind of power? Like is he arguing for more conflict? Like what is he arguing for? And you know what really like I just noticed about this is that like whenever this shit happens in an affluent city with a bunch of rich white people, then people realize what a problem it is. But like whenever it happens in poor African American or Hispanic neighborhoods, or even like honestly just poor neighborhoods, like in Kentucky and the rural South that have to deal with meth that might be majority white, it's like it happens way more. It's been happening for a lot longer time, and nobody gives a shit. I shouldn't say that nobody gives a shit, but it's not the news story that it should be. It's not the issue that it should be. Like, I listen to a podcast a lot that I can't recommend more highly, called This American Life, and there was one episode called Harper High, and it it's about this high school in the inner city, and it was just like really eye opening to me how certain parts of our country, like because of gang violence, are like a war zone. Like I'm somebody that likes to bitch about how hard high school was for me. Like I was unpopular, and I didn't get laid, and I couldn't play sports. And I'm one of those people. And listening to that podcast, I just saw, or I understood that for some kids in this country, not far away, like in Africa, where it's ran by warlords, like people die. Like, I mean, just the fact, like this school, I think had 4 casualties in 1 year because of gang violence. Like this, like there was a shooting at a school dance, and it was a big deal for them, but it wasn't the first time something like that had happened that year, you know? And it just like really made me understand like the problems with wealth inequality in America, the problems with racial inequality in America. And again, like I'm not saying that I have all the answers on this situation, but I'm saying that Graham Allen definitely doesn't have the fucking answers. And I just want to end on a question, which is like he has a book out called America 316, and I can't begin to tell you how stupid I think that is. But how many books do you think Graham Allen's read? So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Good night.